Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beast All Generation episode number 115. I'm Adam and today we're at the second to last battle of round 2. Almost there. It only took, I don't know, 7 maybe months, maybe a year to get to it, but don't worry, we're almost at the end now. Introducing the beasts, we have representing Series 19, the Kingdom of Dragons, the killer of Falra the Snow Phoenix back in round 1. We have Strytor, the Skeleton Dragon, and his opponent, representing Series 25, the Prison Kingdom, book number 3, the killer of Kamar, the Faceless Beast back in round 1. We have Glaki, Spear of the Depths. So with these two beasts fighting it out, honestly, I don't know which one I think should win, but what I do know is this should be a good fight. I mean, I hope it is. It's the second to last fight of round 2. So with that, let's get to the stats. Strytor. This beast forms himself out of a pile of bones right before Tom and Alina's eyes. He takes the form of a vast skeletal dragon glowing a hideous white against the night sky. Questers can see his fiery breath forming in his hollow belly, but are usually powerless to save themselves from its blasts. Age 301, power 282, magic level 188, fright factor 94, size 326. Powers and abilities: flight, fire manipulation and breath, disassembly and limited camouflage, resurrection and reformation, banned in the tournament, reanimation, natural weaponry, and enhanced durability. He has minions, which are reanimated skeletons. And weaknesses is incapacitation. Strytor collapses after enough damage, incapacitating for a short period of time. And for Glaki, we actually don't have one on him, but don't worry, I've dug into the archives of the New Generation tournament and found this. Hold on, for misplay. There.
At first glance, Glaki doesn't look like he can do much. Just a large chomp, and that's it. Wrong. He can do so much more with his long, slender body. He can use each part of his body to his advantage, from his razor-sharp teeth all the way down to his tail. Tread carefully, questers, because this beast is one to look out for. Now, let's get to the stats. Sharp fangs, fast swimmer, scythe legs, can create tsunamis, turn water to ice, and shoot ice daggers. He'll prove very effective in the tournament.
And thank you, Impus. Weaknesses for Glaki is water requirements. So, yeah. Glaki can only survive out of water for a limited time, dying if he is out of water for too long. So, with that, Clock Arena time! Time to go to the Hunger Games Catching Fire Clock Arena. Honestly, probably one of my favourite battlefields. So with that, Strytor, Glaki, let's get into the fight. So as the chamber doors open, Glaki goes through the underwater exit, making his way around the arena and turning the entire surface to ice, submerging himself underneath, while Strytor bursts through the sky exit and sees stone pillars around what looks like an icy lake. Strytor is understandably confused about this, but just stays on top of, goes to the center of the arena and just tries to see who he's fighting, because he seems a bit confused. Glaki sees the silhouette of Strytor fly over him, in which he uses that to his opportunity to burst through the ice, roar into Strytor's face, and cause the ice to come up, shave itself down to tiny little needles going all around Strytor, and go charging straight towards Strytor. Strytor goes to lash out at Glaki as the ice needles come down to him, most of which shatter on his bones, but a few goes right through him, almost seemingly to unaffect him entirely. So Strytor just ignores this, goes to scratch at Glaki, whilst Glaki reels back. He lifts up his tail and smashes it on the now water, causing a giant wave to form, going over Strytor. Strytor takes it and appears through it, dripping with water. He conjures up fire inside of himself and evaporates the water on his bones and breathes out towards Glaki. Glaki takes it, feeling a bit of a burn on his face. He dives his hand underwater to, breathe, but also to extinguish any flames there. He comes back up with seemingly no damage done to him whatsoever. He lifts his tail and goes to wrap it around Strytor, in which Strytor disassembles himself. Glaki lets go in confusion, just thinking what's happening. Strytor then reanimates himself, flies up, and making sure to give a few good scratches on Glaki before he got out. Glaki roars in aggression and conjures up more ice to shoot towards Strytor. Strytor just takes it, looks at the spectators in the arena, and decides, I'm going to need backup. So he conjures up fire and breathes it onto all the spectators in the stands, incinerating them down to their bones. And they collapse to a pile of bones, all the spectators. Strytor then gives one mighty roar as the spectators start reanimating themselves into the skeleton army, and they jump into the arena, some into the water, some into the spokes of the arena, and start charging towards Glaki. Glaki pays them no mind as they're only tiny human skeletons. Strytor comes down, stays where he is, whilst the skeleton army goes to attack Glaki with their bare hands. They start climbing over Glaki, trying to, pull him apart, tear at him. Glaki's paying them no notice, and instead he just goes underwater just to shake them off, freezes the water, and then drowns the skeletons which are already under there. And the ones which are above water, he pops up, shapes the ice into small needles again, and chucks them down onto all the remaining skeletons, finishing them off entirely. Strytor is shocked by how unaffected Glaki seems to have been about this. Strytor then decides that he needs to go up close because clearly his ranged attacks aren't working. So he goes down towards Glaki, just tackling him, forcing himself in the water but keeping his bone structure in place as he just scratches, bites at Glaki, or Glaki's biting back at him. Glaki is able to chip at the bones on Strytor while Strytor is sort of tearing at Glaki's flesh. As they go deeper and deeper into the water, Glaki is able to slither out of Strytor's grip and is able to wrap himself around Strytor, in which Strytor disassembles himself and gets out of Glaki, reassembles himself, and starts slashing and biting back. Both of these beasts can't get a good grip on each other because Glaki is slippery enough to get out of Strytor's grip, and Strytor is able to disassemble and reassemble himself. Strytor then decides to use his claws and slash right underneath Glaki's jaw, causing some blood to gush out of Glaki. Glaki roars in pain and goes to chomp at Strytor, going right for one of his ribs, shattering it, and he holds the bone in his hand, in his jaw, and stabs it into Strytor's snout. Strytor roars in pain at this and goes to escape, whilst Glaki tries to reel himself back from the pain in his neck. Strytor is able to get out of the water. He conjures up a bunch of heat to evaporate any water that's on him, and then he realizes an idea that he has. He builds up as much heat as he can and continues to breathe fire onto the water, causing it to steam up and start bubbling. Glaki's feeling the heat from where he is in the water. He can see the water levels just slowly going down. And it's at this point where he realizes Strytor is trying to evaporate the water so Glaki will drown. Glaki, as quick as he can, shoots up out of the water, going crashing right into Strytor, knocking them both back into the water. And Glaki goes full haywire on Strytor, just not giving up an inch, constantly biting, stabbing at him, trying to distract Strytor before he can evaporate all the water. Strytor has had enough of this and is able to get away from Glaki, reform himself, and fly up and continue shooting fire down towards the water, evaporating it even more. Glaki is powerless on what to do. He tries to turn the water to ice and shoot the ice directly towards Strytor, but the ice melts before he even touches Strytor. Glaki is unsure on what he can do, as the water melts to where Glaki is now completely out of water. He holds his breath for as long as he can, and all Strytor does is go down to his level and just scratches at his gills, just tearing right at them. Glaki is then gasping for breath as he's given fast, short, panicked gasps as Strytor just stares at Glaki as Glaki is struggling to breathe. Glaki then gives one look at Strytor in a look of mercy, asking for help. And all Strytor does is opens up his mouth and gives one large chomp right on Glaki's head, his teeth impaling the top of his head, going right into his brain. Strytor then gives one nasty pull, and it pulls Glaki's brain completely out. Glaki gives one shocked expression and collapses to the ground dead. Strytor unfolds his wings and flies back to his chamber, ready for round 3. So that's Strytor won and Glaki's lost. If you think Glaki should won, please leave comments below what you think of that. However, my word's final and Strytor's going on to the next round. Honestly, this matchup was, to me, this one is a close one because Strytor is a powerful dragon beast, probably the most powerful dragon in all of Beast Quest, minus maybe Furno. But I still think Strytor is probably one of the most powerful dragons. Then we got Glaki, who, due to his abilities, is a perfect counter to Strytor. Whilst his abilities can't exactly do much to Strytor, Strytor's abilities can't do much to Glaki. So I had a good idea on how the battle was going to go, but it was going to be 50-50. But I think I just see Strytor winning more than Glaki, and that's solely because of their reputation they have in each of their books. But with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down below, and I'll see you in the next video where it will be the last 2 beasts of round 2 fighting out for that last precious spot in round 3. Until then, I'll see you next time.